Hi, this is Jeff James from Capital Security Consultants. I recently read an article that said that the Census Bureau believes that there's about 4 million kids between the ages of 5 and 13 that come home every day after school to an empty house. This can be an incredibly anxious time for parents as well as for the student. So I put together some tips, 5 tips that I have that I think are going to go a long way for those families to help take away that anxiety, some ways they can help themselves feel safer and make sure their kids are safer every day when they're home alone. The first thing is that knowledge is power. Make sure your kids know your address that they're going to, their home address that they go to when they get off the bus, and also how to get hold of you, any phone numbers where you can be contacted. This is going to be important if, in the event that they get on the wrong bus at school and are taken to a stop away from your home, or if they get off at the wrong stop. If the police are called to come and get them, they're going to need to get hold of you. And this way your child can pass that information on to the police. So that's going to be incredibly important. And the second thing is going to be to communicate. You're probably going to want to put maybe a text group together that your child, if they have a phone, can easily text to when they're getting on the bus at school and when they get into the house. Now, if your child doesn't have a cell phone, just make sure that as soon as they get into the house, they call you. Or if you have video at your house, video cameras, you can at least have them go in front of the camera and give you a wave letting you know that they're in the house safely. The important part, too, to this communication piece is to have some kind of duress signal. So if someone gets in the house and your child says to them, look, I got to call my mom or my mom's going to know something's wrong, you're going to want to have them give you a signal that lets them know that they're in trouble. And it's going to have to be a signal that they would never say otherwise, so they wouldn't accidentally say it. So if, for example, your child hates bananas, they might say to you, hey, is it okay if I have a banana for a snack? That way, that's going to be a trigger to you to let you know that something's wrong. You're going to want to make sure you confirm it with them and you reply to them, are you serious? And then when they say, yes, I want a banana, then you know something's wrong. And when you hang up, you can immediately call the police and say, hey, my child's home alone. They let me know there's an intruder in the house. So make sure you make part of that part of your communication piece, not just so they let you know that they're home safely, but that this way they can give you a signal if they get home and something's wrong. The third thing is, once they get home, they have to lock themselves down in the house. If you have an alarm system, make sure they set the alarm. And make sure that they don't open the door for anybody, a door-to-door salesman, delivery person, or even a friend. Never compromise the security of your home once they're inside it. Just make sure you know that they don't open the doors for anybody. In fact, I tell my kids that if it's a time that my wife and I aren't home and someone rings the doorbell, they don't even look around the corner to see who it is. We don't want any indication to anybody who might be at the door that maybe they're home alone. So I would even tell you to just tell your kids not even to go to the door if someone rings the bell. The fourth thing is they should have a relocation site. So if you have someone near your home, maybe it's a retired person who doesn't work or someone who works evenings in their home at the time your child would be getting off the bus, see if it's okay with them if there would be something wrong. Say if heaven forbid your home was on fire, or when your child went to go into the house, they got the idea that someone was in there. Have that person ready that your child could run to their home and be their relocation site. And make sure, when we talked earlier about that knowledge is power, make sure that they know the address of that relocation site and also the name of the person who they're going to be able to ask for help who lives there. And the final part is that practice makes perfect. Walk through this with your child. Go to where they're going to be getting off the bus. Walk through it with them, take them on their route to your house, have them practice when they get in the house, pretending they call you, have them show you how they're going to lock the house down, how they're going to set the alarm, how they're going to make sure the doors are locked. And along the way, make sure that they point to their relocation home, the place they would go if there was something wrong at your house and they couldn't stay there. So running through this just a few times, this easy touch point of doing it a few times with your child can mean a lot. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children put out a statistic not too long ago that said 38% of all stranger abductions happen while children are either walking to school, walking to or from the bus stop, or out riding their bikes. So it is an incredibly vulnerable time for kids. So you're going to want to make sure that you plan ahead and try to find these ways to make your child as safe as they can be when they're coming home to an empty house. Make sure you have that relocation site, make sure they're communicating, make sure they know their information, and make sure once they get inside, they go ahead and lock themselves in there. And again, don't be afraid to go out and practice it with them a few times. Again, this is Jeff James from Capital Security Consultants. Feel free to check out our website and see what other services we provide. It's Capital, CAPITOL-security.com. Remember, school buses are out there. Be careful when you drive. Also, keep your eyes open for people that don't belong hanging around bus stops. Remember, it's very important. If you see something, say something. If something seems out of place, make sure you're telling the authorities about it so they can come and fix it for you. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.